This is the first video in what I'm calling my Use the Booze series, so stick around and I'll tell you what it's all about.
If you're a theater fan who loves a great cocktail, click that subscribe button because Broadway Barfly is the channel for you.
Hello folks, Rob Dreemeyer here. Welcome to Broadway Barfly. Between my social media posts and videos, I've probably made well over 100 cocktails now. And as you can imagine, I have accumulated a pretty sizable liquor collection. But recently I was going through the cabinets and I realized I have some bottles that I've only used maybe one time for one cocktail. So I've decided it's time to use the booze. And so what I mean by that is I'm going to be pulling out some bottles from the back of the shelf and dusting them off and trying to learn some new and hopefully interesting things to make with them. So we're going to kick things off with this bottle of Sour Apple Pucker. You can probably guess that the one and only thing I've ever made with it is an apple martini, or appletini as some people call it. I picked it up pretty early in the life of Broadway Barfly when I made a video where I talked about the musical The Apple Tree and paired it with a conversation about the pretty interesting history of the apple martini. But that's it. It's the only cocktail I've ever made with it, and as you can see, the bottle is still pretty full. Now, this is not an easy ingredient to mix with. I poked around online for a couple of days trying to find 3 cocktails that sounded palatable enough for me to want to make and actually taste in a video. But I think I did find 3 of them, and I'll make the disclaimer here that I don't know that I can properly credit these cocktails because I found the recipes in several different places online, though sometimes there were variances in the ingredients and the proportions. But these cocktails are the Washington Apple Shot, a Sour Apple Mountain Dew cocktail, and a Sour Apple Margarita. So I'm going to mix these up, show you how they're made, and then we'll come back and give them all a taste. our 3 cocktails are made, and I'm going to taste them in the order that I made them. So we'll start with the Washington apple shot. The recipe said to serve it as shots. Now, in general, I don't do shots because, well, you know, there's enough sadness in the world as there is. We don't need to add to it by me doing shots. The recipe also called for Canadian whiskey, and you probably noticed that I used bourbon. Believe it or not, I don't have Canadian whiskey here, and since this is use the booze, I didn't want to go out and buy a new bottle. But we'll give it a taste as it is. You know, not bad. It's kind of what maybe I might think of if I made a Cosmo with whiskey. You know, it's kind of sweet, kind of tart. You know, I wouldn't shoot it, but, you know, honestly, you know, I could see drinking this as a cocktail. So, not bad. I may have found one more way to use the booze. Let's move on to our Sour Apple Mountain Dew cocktail. Well, right off the bat, you taste the pineapple juice and you get the fizz from the Mountain Dew. Sweet, tart, nothing wrong with it. It's really pretty tasty. You know, I could see mixing this up in a batch and serving it like as a punch. I think this could please a lot of people if you have a lot of people to serve. Because it's vodka, you don't taste a lot of alcohol. Really, you don't taste much of any alcohol, which can be dangerous. So, yeah, another way to use the booze. I think this one might be a keeper. So last and hopefully not least, we have our Sour Apple Margarita. Now, I really do love a good margarita. I'm curious to see if this is a good one. No. No. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the salt on the rim, which I love a good margarita on the rocks with salt, but yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna go any farther with this because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So, in the end, I have found 2 new ways to use the booze, so maybe that bottle of Sour Apple Pucker will be used after all. So, until the next time, cheers!
If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends? Feel free to leave your comments and click that subscribe button because there's a lot more Broadway Barfly to come.